shut them down. I will, Hitzel. No problem. You can watch me on the replay. So, I came on live a few minutes early. I got here early, but so I walk up through here. Let me turn it around. So I walk up through here from a block down, and I come up through here because I come to this pizza place. And right there at the end of the alley is a guard. Now, I'm thinking, I saw a guard for I think the co-op before, so maybe they have their own, but they're in the same uniform as the ones that we deal with. So I was just curious to see if we see him down here, that maybe he was waiting for me. I doubt it, because I saw a security guard right here. Susan, hi. How you doing today? So I'm thinking the co-op here has a security guard. I don't know why they would. Maybe, I can guess. Well, there's a lot of people on the road, on the sidewalk. I can guess though, because when it starts warming up, we have a larger homeless population in the area. So maybe that's why. Maybe I'll ask him one day. So, yeah, it is. So, get your stopwatches out. See how fast they are today. That's why I like to come up this way, and I come up from behind there. Because I would have to come up and come around the front of the building. I hate to say church. To go down there, and they'd have a good 20-minute heads up on me if I wanted to go make a pit stop at the pizza place. The pizza place is called the Dollar Slice Club, and you pay a monthly fee and you get everything a lot cheaper. So I did. I stopped and got a bottle of water. Alrighty. Nobody's standing outside with all these people here, and they don't have body routers outside. Body router fail. Now, I'm going to yell a couple things if you want to turn it down before they close the door. I wish I had my SPTVfoundation.org. Oh, they didn't notice me. So let's get the sign out. See how there's somebody. So, oh, there, they saw me. SPTVfoundation.org. They'll help you get housing, a job, a GED if you need one, a car. SPTVfoundation.org. They can help you. If you're tired of being controlled, SPTVfoundation.org. Pack it up. Pack it up. You weren't very fast today. Slow. Look at that. They were slow today. Haven't even gotten the blinds down yet. Oh, let's go see if we can see anybody in here before they make it. Maybe this is a good time to come. They don't have as many people. My new signs are going to have the foundation on it. They've got, oh, there's food in there. So this must be like their cafeteria. There's food on the wall. And there's tables. There's somebody in the back on the computer. Nope. Still slow today. Blind tech fail. Blind tech fail. So I'm holding my cane and my phone in the same hand, so it's hard to move it around. I gotta find a place to put my cane down. So what do we got here? Hi S from the UK. Hi. Annabelle. Yep, we closed them down. Amy M. Yeah, they took a little while today. Hey, Pup Groomer. You're here every day. Thank you. Appreciate that. Flover Squirrel UK, you too. Appreciate you being out there. I'm glad you're here because I think I've decided on my name change, but we'll talk about it in a little while because I'll need you to put it on your page. Oh, I'm looking right at the tree. Yep. They're still working the shade down there. You can't see it. She's not able to bring it down. She's playing with the rope. Shade tech fail. That took you too long, you guys. Alright. I'm gonna stay right out front. So I'm gonna just lean my cane here on the tree. If it had a lower branch, I was gonna hang it on the tree. Stay. There. I got it to stay. It's leaning. It's taking a break. Alright. The handles on my page update automatically. Oh, cool. See, I don't know how to do any of that stuff. I am not tech savvy at all. Like I said, oh, there's some SPTVfoundation.org. They'll help you. Now that we know what it is, I'm excited about my new signs. We went to Hobby Lobby yesterday and Lowe's, and we got all the stuff for my new sign. The only thing we're worried about is it might be too light and it might blow over. So we're talking. Oh, there's the guard. Two of them. So, yeah, they're very busy out here today. I hope they're not going to the org with the kids. No, he's happy where he is. Yeah.
Corporal Arnold is our field supervisor. Right?
Yeah.
He happened to come by to see me. I said, well, if he's
No.
looking for work, we could talk to him.
Let me see. I can mute this real quick. Hey guys, I was just saying something personal. I didn't want on camera. Did it mute? Because I'm hoping that was the right way to do it. All right, who else we got here? Lisa's day off. Howdy from Portland. All right. I think I was watching. Do you go out? Because after my live a couple days ago, I went to yours. Fluffer Squirrel. I'm learning slowly. And there's a great community of people all figuring it out together. That's awesome. That's kind of how I'm learning. I got a lot of stuff from AA Ron. S, thanks for being out there, girl. Thank you. Yeah, you too, Fluffer. It did mute. Awesome. Lisa, I remember seeing you. Yeah, I probably chatted at the beginning, but I was getting on the road. So we redirected over to you. And I was just watching Natalie's channel on the way here because I have like an hour and a half to kill. So I listened to it. And, well, I can see it too, but I'm not supposed to do that. But she was talking about how it's good that we can redirect to other live streamers. So I've got this. This is the supervisor out here. All right, let me put the sign back up. There's a lot of people at this intersection when classes change. Family media. Yeah, that's, I think, what draws all of us to SPTV and why it boomed like it did, blew up like it did. I watched it. As soon as you put a community type name on it, it gives everybody something that they can be a part of. And I knew that, it was going to take off when I first heard it. and it started small, but Aaron started encouraging people. I remember when he encouraged Jenna Miscavige, look, just create a channel. You don't even have to have anything on it yet, or one intro video. And she got like 2,500 subscribers right after that. And she's got a few videos up. But the more channels that are out there, the better. Because even if there's only one thing on the channel, when you search, when some of these Sea Org members or staff members or anybody in Scientology, when they look it up, Bob, oh, no problem, Bob. I appreciate you for watching. Sandy Lee, appreciate you. I appreciate anybody that comes by. Oh, there's kids over there. I'm going to stay away. You don't feel alone, which helps part of the family, Sandy Lee. Yes. And, when somebody said, this community has been really good for the most part. You're never going to be perfect, and you're always going to get a bad apple here and there, But I got to stay away from those kids. I think they're waiting for something. Because we're here and watching, it's because you have to have a form of compassion and somewhat of a heart to even give your time to watch this stuff, and then to get passionate about it or angry about it or even just interested in it to find out more. You have to be a fairly decent person. I mean, unless you're like others. Uh-oh. Nope, he turned around. Nope, he's parking. Really? Maybe I ticked him off today. Anyway, you have to be a fairly decent person to even be in this community. Nope, they look like they're going somewhere else. They're going to the other church. Maybe she got the wrong church. Why would they call her over there? They have never had to deal with this before. It will take them down so good as they prey on thee alone. Yeah, and I know, we all know it, because they said they had protesting in the past. I'm going to stay on there. Because they've had protesting on the past, it didn't stick. Because it was mostly, probably small little groups, different. I don't know how it worked back last time. I am in the sun. But, hold on. Anybody know him? Looking for a family member? Hi.
Can you tell me about what?
I will tell you. Do you mind being on camera? Okay. The reason it's a cult and not a religion is they don't let some of their members leave. If you sign the billion-year contract in the Sea Org, because they believe they're going to live multiple lives. And so when you're in the Sea Org...
You mind if I use it?
Oh, go for it. I go to that place every time I come. So I try to get it. Okay, let me get this. Okay, so Sea Org members, it's kind of like their military arm, and they will get them in as early as 12. Their families will put them in it, and they get $47 a week, and they work 80 to 110 hours a week. They live, if they do put them up in like an apartment, it'll be like 8 people to a studio apartment. They're doing that in Chicago right now. And you can't leave. Once you sign that contract, if they've had people have to escape in the trunk of a car, they got ran off the road trying to escape. Now staff who you have in here in the uniforms, they sign a 2 to 5 year contract. But when you try to get out, they're going to try to coerce you. And if they think you're trying to leave, they'll put you in a room with a guard. And what brought me to this was the child abuse. They don't believe their children are children and don't treat them as such, because they believe in their last life they could have been an 80-year-old man. And so early on, they did have these ranches, and they have private schools where they start indoctrinating you even earlier. In the ranches, they didn't even give them an education. They worked all the time. And we're talking like, tell me if I'm wrong, guys. It was like 8, 9, 10 until you could join the Sea Org. And so they're trafficking them underage, because they'll move them. They're all over the world, and they'll move them. Let's say you join in Russia. they'll bring you here and say, oh, we're going to bring you to America. It's going to be great. They take your passport and you don't get to leave. And you're not allowed to have the internet or cell phone or TV.
So, like, how do people get, like, say, indoctrinated?
A lot of what you see now are what we call second and third gens. It was really popular in the 60s and 70s. L. Ron Hubbard, the creator, he was a science fiction writer. And he wanted to make more money. And he even said to somebody once, if you want to make money, start a religion. And he got a lot of his propaganda and from World War II. And he started it in the 50s. And it was originally called Dianetics. So they got a lot of people in the 70s and 80s and 90s. And now they're putting their kids in. Now, in the way they get somebody like you, they get you in for this personality test. And they're going to tell you, oh, your life is crap. We can help you. Buy this book. Probably some books. And it's all about money, by the way. The only people, if you don't have the money, that's when they want you to be staff or Sea Org. If you have money, you're going to spend minimum to go up what they call the bridge. I think $100,000 or more, you guys. I sometimes get my facts wrong on the numbers. Because I did a deep dive this last year and a half, learning everything about it. And then they opened recently, and I come from 75 miles away. Because when I found out they wanted to open across from the college, I'm like, mm-mm.
I saw them renovating, like,
Yeah, well, they've owned the building for 55 years, but they don't have the people that they say they do. So they didn't even have the staff to open it. And so they just got some staff, but he had to open them because he made public people donate millions of dollars. They go into credit card debt to do it because they're pressured to renovate it. They wouldn't use church funds. So, and then so they abuse the children in ways because they think they're adults in small bodies. And that's being put out there. And it's called SPTV. It's a lot of creators that were ex-members that were in 20, 30 years talking about their experiences, and it's horrible. It's horrible. Then when you get too old, these staff members or Sea Org members, when they get too old to work, they just pile you into an apartment or a house, take your Social Security, take credit cards out in your name, you don't even know it, and then pay the minimum payment with your Social Security, and when you die, the card goes away. Well, Mike Brown, he's on this list right here. Mike Brown, he got his mom out recently, like a year ago. He had to they owed her $160,000 when she got out, and they don't like to go to court. They make the people think they'll sue you and they have power, but they don't like to go to the discovery phase, so right up to trial. So all they did is write a letter that she wanted her money and they gave it to her. But there's other people that are given $50 million and stuff, so that's how they keep afloat, even though they have less than 30,000 members.
What is the central belief that people, like, get
In there?
Like, why?
It's not, they don't have a deity. It's not a faith. They call it tech, that our tech will make your life better. And it's about taking classes and courses and moving up the bridge. And really, once you're in, the pressure is so much. And you're usually, a lot of times they get you a job with a Scientologist. You may even live in a Scientologist apartment. This is public. These are people that aren't under contract. It's okay.
I'm gonna text my friend.
Okay. No problem. I'm here for a couple hours. So that's what I'm here for, is to just talk to people. Oh, the chat didn't move again, you guys. So let me put my sign down. While she's doing that, I'll check chat. You and all who stand against this call have my respect. Ma'am, love from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Yeah, I see you in here a lot. Hans, good evening. Yes, dear.
Do you think there's like a god?
No. Actually, they don't even know what their beliefs are to a certain level. It's called the confidential levels, the OT levels. So what they think they're doing is saving the planet. They're trying to get everyone to clear, and that's a level that you get to save the planet. And the reason they have to save the planet is because originally 75 million years ago in the Federation of Galaxies or something, their planet was overpopulated, and this person in political power wanted to get rid of a certain people that were against him. So he froze them, put them on spaceships, brought them to this planet, Don't know why he didn't just kill him first, but then he threw him into volcanoes, and their thetans, what we would call spirit, they call them thetans, were loose. And when the human race started, then they take their thetan goes into the body. Well, when you start going up the levels, you find out the reason you're sick, the reason you're depressed, the reason your life is bad is these other thetans that have attached to your body. So you spend like 2 levels getting rid of these thetans on your body. And once you get rid of them all, you can say, I have no, I'm clear. Well, then you get to OT3 and you find out about Xenu. He was the guy that brought him here. And you find out about how this is a prison planet, and they're trying to get everybody to clear so everybody knows that they're a thetan. I don't know what their end goal is. They say don't think too hard because this guy doesn't really put a lot of thought into the facts. A lot of people that have come out said when they got to OT3 and heard that, they were like, this is ridiculous. But they're so far in by that point. Because even if you go against or leave the church, they will do what they call a declare. They will declare you an SP, you're out. Your spouse even has to divorce you. And you have to disconnect from any family and friends you have in the church. And if
People that actually people
they leave a lot now because of the social media. Now they can go on the internet and find people like me or the OGs like Aaron Smith Levin. His channel is really out there talking about how to get at what happened. That's who I learned from. And then there's a lot of creators now. What were you saying?
It's like legal.
What I'm doing?
No, like
Well, they got tax exempt status from the IRS, so they're considered a church, and that's why it's hard to go after them for this stuff, because there's been people try to there's 5 or 6 lawsuits right now against them for the human trafficking and child trafficking and abuse and all of that. And earlier, a lot of times they have what they call religious arbitration that they have in their contract, but they don't even do it. They don't even have like how to do it because they don't let you. But what the judges are doing is saying, well, we can't do anything. You have to go through arbitration. You have to go through arbitration with a cult that you just escaped from for their abuse. Well, there's some more lawsuits that look like they're going well, and once they're won, hopefully that'll open the floodgates for more. And the reason we're out here doing what we're doing is just to get the word out. They can see us. I'm making some new signs. There's a new foundation there's another foundation, but there's a new one that will help them get out, get them an apartment. A lot of times they don't have any education because they put them in when they were 12 or 13. They took them out of school. And so they have to get a GED, they have to get a job, an apartment, and they help them do that when they get out. And that's SPTVfoundation.org. But like I said, the child and elder abuse is what brought me in, the mind control, and what they're trying to do here with you guys, with the young people, is they're hoping to find somebody who's lonely and wants to belong to something. What's nice now about, they don't know how to deal with social media because they have lived for, the 50s to say the 2000s, so 70 years in secrecy. So they were able to keep everything under the radar. Well, now it's all over the YouTube and they can't do anything about it. And so now when you search Scientology on YouTube, you don't get their propaganda, you get the creators against them. So you could easily find any one of the channels if you put it in there. Do you have any other questions about it? Oh, in the bank fraud, they help a lot of members get credit cards so they can then give the cash. This building was renovated by fraud. Matter of fact, there may be charges. There was a person who got student loans. He's from a Scientology family. Gave it all to the church. Well, his family found out, and because that's fraud. If you get a student loan and you don't live on it, right? So his family paid him off real quick. Well, then another guy got credit cards out the yin yang to give them money to renovate because it elevates them in the church. The more money you give, the more pats on the back you get. And so, like, Tom Cruise is given probably $100 million. I know. Do you watch Bart Simpson? I don't either. But one of the voice actors is a member, and she's given $50 million. So that's where they get their money from the public, and they use the people that don't have money in the Sea Org staff as slave labor. So, and it's the tax exemption we're trying to get nullified, and then they'll be open.
People said it's like acceptable.
Say that again.
Like,
The noise gets.
let me think of like what like given like the child abuse and like human trafficking, why is this like as an organization like still allowed?
It hasn't gotten out much before because people who've gotten out like years ago, they have this thing called fair gaming that they do, and they will harass them, they will mess up their job, they will hire private investigators to follow them, so they make it so hard to speak out. Leah Remini really kind of started this boom of the lawsuits, and this she wrote a book. She was on. Have you ever seen King of Queens? It's a show. I know you guys are younger for this kind of. She's an actress, and she was her family was in Scientology, so she was in it at a young age from birth. But you know, she was an actress in Hollywood, and she's like, this is bull crap, and she wrote a book. She got raked over the coals for it. Well, then she started a show called The Aftermath, Leah Remini and The Aftermath, and it was 3 seasons and just brought people on, and that really started it. Then the YouTube channels, and they can't fight something so public. We've got lawsuits in right now that are looking good for Leah Remini suing them for the fair gaming, for attacking her and trying to take jobs away and stuff. Do you remember the Danny Masterson trial in California? He was the actor who drugged and raped several women, and he's in prison now. It was like last year. He's a Scientologist. Well, they protected him for over 20 years because his victims were Scientologists. And they literally, and when something bad happens to you, it's your fault. They're like, what did you do to bring this in? So the victims wanted to speak out, and they hushed it. And because people ask, why didn't you say something in 2000? They're not allowed to go to the law enforcement. She did anyway. And it took till 15 years almost to get it finally to court, and 2 other women went in with her, and there were 2 others that testified and 5 others that wanted. So that's 10 victims we know of over 20 years that they covered up, and they got those documents from the church. Because people say, oh, well, he was railroaded by testimony. No, they had documents where he admitted to what he did. He just didn't think it was wrong. Yeah. You would like the LA protesters. There are a lot of young TikTokers, and they've crossed over to YouTube. They're a lot of fun. There's a lot more that goes on, but they also, the LAPD's in their pocket financially because they hire them for events and pay triple wages. And so since October, when this really started, they called the LAPD on them 24 times in 2 months. They've been arrested for nothing. I mean, they knew the DA was going to say this is bogus, but they just want to make them feel the hurt being in jail for 5 days. Yeah, and they come right back out and protest. So they did slap me with the cops one day.
Is there a way like to make the message like publicly known, like in like mass media?
We're trying. We're trying to contact the media. We're trying to contact our Congress people to get the tax exemption. But this is what happened. So in LA, they came right around the time the first arrest happened a couple months ago, and they did they interviewed two of the young men. But when it aired, it was all skewed against the protesters, which really they're not protesters. They're First Amendment auditors, where you can just stand and film. That's all they did, and they shut down the LA Center on Hollywood Boulevard because what they want to do is stand out and get people, in LA to come in. But you got 8 people standing there live streaming. Nobody was going in, so they closed their doors. So now they're at the restaurant where Danny Masterson drugged his victims, and the owner went every day to court to support him and wrote a letter saying, oh, but he's a great guy. He's good with dogs. You should be light on his sentence. He just raped a little. So they're protesting over there now. And DOA is an easy one to remember. He's hilarious. He wears costumes when he protests.
Is like a Scientology church like most prevalent in like Boston and LA?
No, actually, their biggest LA and Clearwater, Florida. Clearwater, Florida, they have had Scientologists buy up so many buildings in downtown Clearwater that it's a ghost town. They've ruined the city. They have a waterfront that's still vibrant, but that's their flag base. And then they have another kind of big base in England. Now, this is just an org, a small org. They probably maybe have 100 public in this area to even come here, if that. So they get these big, huge buildings and they open them up, and there's probably a skeleton staff just to make it look good. And it's not to us to look good, it's to the other members and make them look like they're expanding. And they try to say, we're opening a new church. No, they've been renting a strip mall in this part of town, and they'll do that. They'll buy these buildings, put millions of dollars of renovations in there, and be renting another building because they don't have enough staff to put in here. Well, he finally had to open it. He was between a rock and a hard place. So he went ahead and opened it, and he probably moved people around from other places. Is there anything else you guys can suggest? I went right on the Scientology page and stated it was a cult, not a church, and I said if any Scientologists wanted to escape, get a hold of SPTV, and gave the number, and I'm just waiting. Awesome, Blue Diamond, awesome. To get blocked by the Scientologists. Hey, Carrie Ann. I'll look through the chats in a minute. I just wanted to see if anybody, because sometimes I never know how long I'm going to have somebody, and you've given me a lot of time. So I try to hit the really big ones first, the child abuse, the elder abuse. But, I mean, just it's an abusive place anyway, in Int base, that they're not even supposed to know where it is, but we all do. It's in California, and that's where David and Scott used to live. And that's where they do all their media productions. They have, like, a cinema and all the stuff to make movies. He literally would punch execs in the face if he was mad. And there's nothing they can do. He's a leader. He's a little short guy, and he's angry. He took over after the original leader died, and he wasn't even supposed to be the one to take over. He finagled his way in. It was supposed to be somebody else. And he took over, and it got worse under him. The abuse got worse. The cover-ups got worse. But LRH is the one that wrote he was a prolific writer, even for the church. He literally has programs on, you need to brush your teeth, you need to take a bath. They tell you how to do everything. How to wash windows. Yeah, you don't look anywhere for instruction. Only L. Ron Hubbard, the leader, is. So that's kind of like, he said he was the Buddha. So he's kind of like their deity, but, you know, he was just the leader. And matter of fact, his birthday is March. And it was on the 13th, I think. But they filmed it, and then they're going to air it it's a big to-do for all the orgs and stuff. But I'm here partially to get the word out for people like you that don't know anything. Be honest, 80% of the people that stop by already know something. They at least know it's not good, because it's all over YouTube and TikTok now. But like you know, you don't know. And there's enough of you to make it worth us coming out. Because now you're going to go and maybe tell somebody else. And that'll keep somebody from... I mean, we don't care if you go in if you just want to troll them. But all they're going to do is sit you in front of a screen and watch some silly movie they made. And then try to get you to buy something. They want you to spend money. So, yeah. So that...
Where you stand, like, religiously?
Oh, I'm a devout Christian. But somebody asked me one day, is that why you're here? And I said, nope. I said that had nothing to do with it. It was the child abuse, the elder abuse, the general abuse, and they're getting away with it, and nobody in our government is doing anything about it. Now, there's other governments that are. They're not allowed in Russia. The UK England is investigating them right now for the trafficking, because they try to get people especially people that don't know a lot, like, or don't speak the language. They love to bring them over here and then sometimes they're under 18
Yeah.
and they take their passport away.
Yeah. And I really appreciate you coming out. And, like,
Oh, you're very
spreading the
welcome.
word. And I'm also Christian, and also think like we should be praying about this and like.
Absolutely.
Like the
We are. I'm sure we all are, but yeah, it
Thank you for
doesn't.
spending the time.
Yeah, if you want to tell your church about it too,
Yeah.
and do a prayer, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just get on social media, put it out on your Facebook pages. Let people that don't know anything. A year and a half ago, I didn't know anything,
Right.
and now I know everything. So it just takes knowledge. That's what we're getting across, is the knowledge, so that they're gonna die out if they can't get new members.
Yeah.
If we can't get the tax exemption away or anything else, we can at least do that. So thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much for telling me more information. I've always heard about it. I've heard like people say like it's
Pay to play.
Yeah.
They call it pay to play religion. Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't know the details about it. Thank
Yeah.
you for sharing.
A lot of people don't know about the Sea Org and the slave labor because, like I said, they've lived under secrecy for a long time, but it's not anymore. So, all right. Well, thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, guys. That was awesome. That's what I want. I want people to stop and ask that don't know. Okay, I'm going to go back and go through, because I can't talk and read chat. There's a lot of chat, you guys. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Oh, 30,000. Yeah, I couldn't remember. I knew it was a lot. Now I want pizza. I know. I'll get my pizza on when I leave. I'm not even supposed to have gluten, but okay, family media. Sandy, don't feel alone. That's what we were talking about before. They have never had to deal with this before. It will take them down. I say that all the time. SPTV is going to be their downfall. YouTube is going to be, and TikTok will be their downfall. Okay, I read that one. Can you see your face? I'll switch over in a second when I'm done reading. The only reason I don't, and I tell everybody why, I got to get to my dentist. I started drinking cold brew a few months ago, and it stained the crap out of my teeth. And I didn't notice until my first time I went on here. Pizza, Miss Kim knows her stuff, love it. Thanks, us. Gizmo, now I want pizza, damn it. I know, because down the street, there's a $1 slice club, and you saw how big that slice was? If you remember, it's like, well, I get the most expensive meat one. It's like $3.50 with the member 5 if not. You could join the Cadet Org at 6 and Sea Org at 8. I forgot about the Cadet Org. That's what I was trying to remember. Thank you. Somebody told me before, and I need to do it. I'm going to make a card and laminate it and hang that thing around my neck so I can hit all the key points. Like I tell other people, I never know how long I'm going to have with them. So I try to hit the big ones, and then when they give me more time, I'm like, okay, where do I go now? With parental waiver, of course. 30,000, 150K plus. Yeah, it can range, plus they donate. Then you have to donate to IAS and the front groups and the Ideal Org program. Yep. You did amazing. Thank you, Fluffer Squirrel. This girl knows her stuff. Oh, as a kid who was in, I am impressed. Oh, really? Oh, thank you for being here. Definitely. If you have any insights you want me to talk about, email me at scientologywontwin@gmail. That would be awesome. Bob, darn, Fluffer Squirrel. This is a great. Imagine having this as live lunchtime educational story time. Sandy. Thanks, Sandy. I'm a never in. Yep. Turdology, like your name. Hi, all. Hi. Sandy. Committee of Evidence. Yeah. Forgot about that. Social media is Scientology's kryptonite. Absolutely, yes. Bob. I wish I knew this 30 years ago. I know, right? They lived in secrecy, but now they don't. Sandy, yes, you got that right. Kimberly 8. Mention the harassment they get when they get out. That's part of lawsuits. Yep. I need to write the key points down on those, because there's several and I want to get them right. I was going to go into the Jane Does and they poison their dogs, but I kind of got off track. I always wanted to be a teacher, and I'm really good at giving out facts. That's like that's why I do it the way I do it. Yeah, that kid can tell 10 of her friends exactly. She'll be like, hey, do you know about Scientology? Jessica Blue, anything nerdy. People have threatened and harassed Liz Ferris so much that she is no longer doing you. I saw that she, it's crazy how far, I didn't know why. I just saw her title and I thought, you know, sometimes people say something, but I didn't realize she was going off like that. Oh, poor thing. Sharon Hat. Xenu came about from a drug-induced trip Hubbard was on. Funny you can't be in the Sea Org. If you ever done LSD, I know. Thanks, Kimberly. Blue Diamond, right, Jessica. Sandy Lee. The seed has been planted. She's going to go home, search all of this stuff. She will tell 2 of her friends. They will tell 2 friends, and so on. And that is my goal. Jessica. Really sad and disturbing what happened to Liz. I'm going to have to go listen to that video because there's so many creators now. It's really hard to watch everybody that you want. And I do it on 1.25 speed sometimes. Hey, Carrie Ann. I went right. Okay, I read that one from Blue Diamond. And to get blocked. Thanks, Gizmo. Sandy Lee. Good luck to Blue Diamond. I won't stop till they shut their page down or block me. You go, Blue Diamond. You're a keyboard warrior, and that's what we need. We don't need everybody standing outside. We need keyboard warriors to do stuff like that. You know, email your local news. Somebody turned me on the Corsicana Daily Sun, which is in Texas, which is just some weird town, you know. And I went in, and they have so many articles about great things Scientology is. I would bet somebody in Scientology owns that. Hey, Osa, there's none so blind as those who will not see. Exactly. Fluffers from HMRC are investigating them in UK too, like IRS. Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard that. And that is great. Thanks, Fluffer Squirrel. Ruth. Brilliant talk, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Punch Buggy. Hi, Punch Buggy. Lurking work. Yep. I do that a lot too. E1. Be in the military? Do you worry that other cults or cult-like organizations will see this, and this, if they can come with stuff that will be much worse? I'm sure that's possible. That's what Hubbard did. He researched all the other cults and religions and picked from them. And that's why when you hear about other cults, well, actually they already have, because newer cults have either read the cult handbook or LRH, or they did the same thing. I think they pull from each other. Pup Groomer 20. Can I ask for some healing energies sent to a client of mine? She was in a car accident a few weeks ago and ended up with 40 staples, and now the wound is infected and she had to go to a specialist. Absolutely, Pump Groomer. I know we have Christians in the chat. Even if you're not a Christian, it's why my husband calls me a hillbilly hippie. I named my craft business Hillbilly Hippie because I come from hillbillies, you know, from the country and stuff. But then as I got older, I got into, you know, yoga and holistic. And when I got sick, I got really into health and holistic eating, healthy eating and things like that. And I figured out the way some of the Christian things work with other things. Like, I read the Dalai Lama. And of course, you know, I don't agree with everything, but he had a good heart. He had a lot of good things to say. But I believe everything has an energy. I believe, because if you're Christian, even if you're not, if you're scientist, okay, Avatar, the movie, really kind of put that into play. If God created the world and us with his power, energy, then we're all connected. We're connected to the trees. We're connected to the earth. We're connected to each other. And I believe we all have an energy. And that can be a positive energy or a negative energy. So no matter what religion you are, I believe that. And that is one thing I like about Austin. They like to keep their green spaces down here and stuff, as you can see. What it was is I asked, let's see if this is, it's still moving, guys. I'm sorry. It's not moving on its own because I guess I stopped. You can't reform Scientology. Hate is baked into it. No, you can't. E1. No, I'm not in the military. I honestly just came up with E1 not knowing that it's associated with the military. My name is Eric. Oh, that's okay. I kind of didn't think you were, just because not many people are still E1s after just a short time. I was just trying to create a channel with esoteric videos. Is that your channel name? You can plug your channels in here. I don't mind. That's how I got my subscribers. So if you guys have a channel, feel free to plug it. Or you can email me and I'll plug it. And I like those kind of, so I list 432 megahertz is the sleep megahertz. And I have a hard time shutting my brain down at night, as you can tell. And I turn on a 432. I like the singing bowls. I don't like actual music. I like the more meditative stuff, and I go to sleep to it. I'll find something that's at least 3 hours long, and I'll just play it on my tablet and fall asleep. Kylo Ren, less one person protesting our religion, more Weight Watchers, lady. Yeah, I know. Are you 2,000? No, I was at 991 when I logged on. I need 9 more to make 1,000. So if I could get 9 more today, I'd stay. Actually, I didn't gain weight through food. I weighed 108 pounds when I got sick. Well, I was actually underweight because I was sick. I was 127 for a few years. And when they finally diagnosed me, they threw 5 new drugs at me all at once. And every one of them said weight gain at the top. And I watched myself go from 108 to 180 in 16 months. And when you're sedentary and bedridden, it's hard to get rid of. But now that they put the pain stimulator in my back a few months ago, that's how I'm out here. There's no way I'd be out here if they had not done that. I'd be in bed right now. That's how I got so good researching the Scientology. I did a total Scientology binge starting about more than a year and a half ago now. I watched a year's worth of Aaron's videos. I went back a year on him. I couldn't do it all, and I just watched and watched. And then he started to go live a lot in January 2023, and that's when he got bigger. He started promoting more channels, and more channels started, and I started watching more and learning about other people's history. So if I had not been bedridden, I would not have had that time and probably never known anything about Scientology and not be standing here right now. So I don't think that everything happens for a reason. You ever hear of that sonic art project called Long Player? It's a piece designed to be played for 1,000 hours. Oh, and no, I have not heard about that. Tammy G, are you interested in protesting at the White House in D.C.? Yeah, if I had notice, I would go. You know, I was supposed to be at the January 6th thing, but my husband, I was still having back problems at the time, and he was worried about having to walk. And the thing about that is, all I have to say about that, I don't like to get political, is there were some hoodlums that did do the breaking in, but everybody that came in after that, they just saw the doors open. If I'd have been there, I would have walked in too, because I'm like, oh, the doors are open. And the police, if you look at the new videos that released, they're not stopping anybody. They're just standing there. So and they're all staying within the ropes and taking pictures. I'm like, I would have just thought it was open for the day. And they're taking those people that just thought it was open for the day, that weren't doing anything wrong, and they're in prison. So I guarantee you I'd have been in prison for thinking that the building was open for tourists. Look up Gem Finer, Long Player. It's singing bowls, bells, and chimes. Oh, I love those. I love wind chimes and singing bowls. That's awesome. But yeah, Tammy, are you gonna try to get something together? Are you up there, or are you gonna be same punch buggy? Yeah, I know. I would have been one of those grandmas in jail for however long, 3 years now, just because I wanted to see the inside of the Congress building or Capitol building. Okay, email me, ScientologyWontWin at Gmail. I also have a Miss Kim one, but I'm gonna change it. So, but yeah, if I had time and I could plan it, because I don't have an income myself, I do all of this on my husband's income because he makes just enough that I can't get disability. Susan P. I started watching Aaron in December 22 when he showed Reese's name. Did not even know anything about Scientology. I'm hooked and want to help shut this down. Well, you're helping by being a supporter like you are, and we appreciate that. Yeah, I'll put it it's in the description of my earlier videos too. I try to add it after. So when I log off, I'll put it in the description. But yeah, definitely get with me. And yeah, and I think Pearl Snappy would probably come. Maybe some others from Austin. Maybe we can try to get, because I have could be a 6-seater truck. Right now it's 5. So, maybe we could carpool up there or something like that. But yeah, I definitely would love to do that. And I'm sure we can get others too. If we can get something planned with a date, then we can start putting it all over SPTV, and I know we would have a decent size. Patrick Skinner, MLH is mobbing your channel. What's that? What does that mean? I'm new to you. What does mobbing your channel mean? Hi, Judy. Thanks, Judy. Well, you know, there are days I think, you know, I could stay home. Because when I come, I'm gone from the house about 6 hours with driving. But my husband sleeps during the day, so he doesn't miss me. But I don't have anything else better to do than this. This is important. Fluffer Squirrel. There are going to come when he finishes. Oh, that's so awesome. MLM, MLH, who is that? What's that stand for? I know some, I don't know all the channels. Patrick sending his chat. That's awesome. Tell him thank you so much. One more sub. Thanks, Bob. He's signing off live. Oh, that's so awesome. Thanks, Thomas. Susan, sending people. Going to get you to 1K. That would be so awesome. Mexican long hair? Oh, I didn't even know. That's so cool. I feel they're like, to me, the big wigs. Okay, I know who he is. Yeah, I watch Denver and I watch him sometimes. And am I at 1K? Did I make it? I don't know how to look. Judy, this is important stuff. Wish I could be out there myself. We all do what we can. Hey, you know what? That's the good thing about this is anything is something. Just talking about it on your live, being a keyboard warrior and emailing, you know, your local media. What I was thinking is I got kind of off the subject, and I don't, why is my email, my chat is not coming up unless I touch it. MLH Monster Raid. Hi, Fuzzy Pink Handcuffs. Let me find out why this isn't there. That's better. Did I get everybody's? Love Maddie's here. If I missed anybody's chat, I had it on top chat, not all chat. So I hope I didn't miss anybody. Well, tell him thanks you. I'm at 998. I need 2 subscribers, guys, and I'll be at 1,000. Hi. That would be awesome. I never, oh my gosh, I never, ever, ever would think I would get. So I'm at 1K now. Woohoo! Woohoo! I'm at 1,000 subscribers now, just now. I don't know how to look from the live, and I don't want to mess anything up. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much. Wolf Machine. My maiden name was Wolf. I like that name. Thanks, Thomas. Thanks so much, you guys. That is awesome. Because I don't do anything fun or sing or dance or anything like other people do. It can take a bit to update. I trust Fluffer Squirrel. Yeah, me too. J-Bat, hi. Thank you guys so much, so much. You know, when I started this, I never even thought, I created the channel thinking I'd just come out here and film Pearl Snappy. That was my goal. I was going to film her and put her videos on, you know, clips and stuff out. And that worked out the first couple days because I was able to get a different angle when they called on her and that guy tried to yell at her. But we come at different times. So, yeah, Bullbank's just getting started. I hope so. Thanks, Susan. So I never even worried about going live. Then I was like, well, let me go live for the opening, and Aaron plugged my channel, then Pearl Snappy, and I got the subscribers I needed to go. And then I didn't even know how. I couldn't figure it out, and some college guy stood over here on the corner and helped me go live that day. It's like, just do this, this, and this. Because, well, thanks for holding it down for Pearl while she's grieving. Yeah, I actually did cry too. When I stumbled. I don't have the time to watch all of her videos all the time, or anyone's really. I just, you know, you have to, I just go to whoever's live. When I'll hit the live tab on my tablet on YouTube and just see who's on, and she just happened to have just gone on. And I met KK. I'm going to talk about that in a minute since it came up. JBat, 1K, awesome. Oh, hi Alan. Yeah, I heard he sent people over here. So yeah, I wanted to talk about KK a little bit. I only met her a couple of times because me and Pearl get here different times. She usually comes later in the day, but I met her at the opening, and when she was here with Pearl, and she was just such a great person. I know. And she was just one of those people, was so easy to like. And yeah, I know, now you're gonna make me cry. Stop it. But and then I did something really rude to Aaron after that. I had just stopped watching Pearl Snappy and I was emotional. So he was having a live and I didn't know it was gonna be a short one. So I thought he would just bring it up towards the end, and I said something about KK, that we lost an SPTV member, and he was actually in a good mood, and it was a really short stream, and it was like I was almost one of the only chats, and I felt so bad about blindsiding him like that and down in his stream like that, and I just didn't think. I let my emotions guide my actions. At my age, I should know better for live to assess the situation. Yeah, I used to ride. I still have my bike, but my disease affects my brain and central nervous system. The reason I use a cane is for balance. So until we can turn my bike into a trike, it's a kit, so it'll look like training wheels, literally. But it's the cheapest way to do it, and we're looking at doing that because my husband doesn't ride. I ride. And I wrecked one time. It was a one-person accident. It was a rookie mistake, but luckily I just rolled off, and I somehow remembered to grab my helmet with my arms and tuck, and I just had road rash. My bike needed help though. So every time you're on a bike, you are literally taking your life into your hands, because if a car, and 99,999 times out of 100,000, it's the car's fault. They didn't see you, they swerved, something was wrong, they were texting. A lot of time they just don't see you. And my husband, one time, I think it's what scared him off, he was just learning, and this woman pulled out in front of him. He said he did so many things at once to stop from hitting her. He couldn't believe it. Braking, and because you have to use both hands and both feet when you ride. And so I tried to ride it once, and I've never dropped my bike. I prided myself on it, and I was turning around in the opening of a road just on my street, and it was a slow motion. I was going like 5 miles an hour. I fell over, but it was too heavy to lift up. So, but yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you can love. It's a freedom riding your bike. It's a passion. but it's dangerous. I felt less insecure about skydiving on my own. My cousin lost his life on his motorcycle a year ago. My brother was with him, and the truck barely missed him. I pray for Pearl and the family. Hi. Do you have any questions?
Oh no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I just can't.
The leader was between a rock and a hard place, and he had members donate millions to refurbish these big buildings, and he didn't have the staff. So they've been sitting, and he finally had to open them because he had to, it's not for us, it's for the members to show, oh, we're expanding. They're not. They're not getting new members because they don't even need us, but we're trying to make sure they don't get new members. You're not on camera. I'm not putting you on camera.
It's just bizarre.
Yeah. So this movement started just probably back in October. They started in LA. They started just live streaming, doing First Amendment auditing, really, and it closed the doors of the Hollywood Boulevard Center because they try to get people off the street. He bought this building 55 years ago because it was across from a college. They just opened in Chicago across from a college because they're trying to get young people, but they don't understand social media, and they can't shut social media down. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, we mainly just need to get their tax exempt status taken away because they're very protected because of that. They did in the 80s when LRH died, and then the new leader got it back in 96. He did put all these fake services together and a cross and made it look like a church and got it back. And there's a lot of lawsuits in LA right now for the human trafficking, child trafficking, abuse, and it's been really hard in the past to sue them, but it's getting easier. If those lawsuits, if they win, it's going to open things up. All right. Thank you. Just spread the word. All right. Yeah, I try not to put people on camera unless I okay it. I think she was on. I didn't mean to. When I'm talking to somebody, I'm literally looking at them. It's just me. I was taught early on to look at somebody in the eyes when you're talking, and so I'm just holding the camera, not paying any attention. So we were talking about KK. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing that's so sad because you're doing something you love. And I told my family, Jesse Kane. I'm a never-in, and when I was younger, I always wondered what it was about. I was very curious, and now I know. Something happened to me. My husband and I, we've been together since high school in the 80s, and the early 90s, he went active duty in the Army, and we saw some advertisement for it, and we're like, well, that sounds kind of cool. Tom Cruise is doing it, I think. And we were looking for a new church in the area that we lived. And luckily, we never did anything about it. But they would have never got us because he was a E-nothing in the Army making no money. And he was in the Army and couldn't sign up. And there's no way I'm the kind of person that's going to sign some billion-year contract and kiss my butt. So it would have never worked for us. But I thought the same thing. I didn't know till a year and a half ago. I got on, something popped in my feed. I watched it and I was like, holy crap, I need to watch this. Wolf Machine, that's terribly sad and so fortunate for your brother. It's harder than losing someone close to you. Yeah, what I was going to say was I told my family that if something happened and I died riding my bike, that I left this earth doing something I loved and that made me happy. So I'm going to try to hang on to that because I can tell, I don't know a lot about KK. I just know she was on a trip with some other girls. I was in a women's riding club too. And hopefully, hopefully it was fast. I hope it was. But I try to remember the same thing. She was doing something that she loved. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Alan, but the like for this insight, if this could rewind. Oh yeah, I forget to bring those kind of things up, like subscribe or hit the like, because I'm just happy people are here watching. I'm at 66 again. I mean, my first few lives, when I got 29 or 30, I was excited. And in the very beginning, I got like 8 or 9. What the heck? Somebody's angry. It's a bus. He's got to do that. You can't really fight a bus. So, but yeah, that's what I'm here for. Even if that's the only person I talked to today, it was worth the trip. She didn't know anything about it. I think she knew enough not to get sucked in. But I want the big knowledge. I want people to know everything they're doing. I want everyone to know they need to have their tax exempt status taken away. So I'm glad she stayed long enough for me to get out as much as I could. But then again, I don't want to overload somebody either with everything. So I try to get out the worst stuff first. The child abuse, the slave labor, the elder abuse. Those are the things that are going to catch their attention and they'll remember. That's what caught my attention. My brother watching, and as a Vietnam vet with PhD, it was hard on him. You know, was he riding? Because that was probably a way for him to hopefully feel better. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. Yep. Thanks, Alan. I'll see you later. Thank you for coming. Every little bit will help. I said, you know, I didn't care about getting monetized, and I don't. But it wouldn't be bad if I could earn a little bit for the parking and the gas. That way, because like I said, my husband has been super supportive. He always is with something I want to do. So much that we went yesterday to Hobby Lobby and Lowe's on his day off. And he's helping me he helped me go find a tripod. It looks like it was meant for a speaker or a light or something big like that. Because this sign is heavy and I want a bigger sign to get over these cars. Can we see your... Yes. I'm not worried if you're OSA because they've already taken pictures of me. Hi. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that too because I was watching KK's video last night and she had it on Pearl Snappy, and I know Pearl Snappy uses a tripod for her camera, and I got this nice new DJI gimbal, but it's more made for if you're sitting and you're taping or you're making a video. It doesn't work when you're live streaming. You have to put it in the lock position, which is holding a button the whole time. I'm like, I just went back to my cheap gimbal that I'm using now, but when I get the sign, I'm thinking about getting a tripod and putting my gimbal on it and seeing how that works. I'm gonna have to play with that a little bit. So anyway, I was reading up on what I can do. When I do this, it's because I have bifocals, so to read I have to do this. Sorry about that. So, and every time I need to look at chat, I gotta put my sign down. There may be a way to pin a link to SPT Foundation, I think. Yeah, I'll figure out how to do that. Hold on. Okay. Thanks, Zombie. My husband probably agrees. So the signs. So as you can see, there's a space there. How tall? Well, you can see it earlier. How tall the cars are, and there's a lot of traffic that stops here. So I want a sign that's like way up here and full size. So we got the tripod, but it needed an extension to go taller. So we went and found PVC pipe. Do you have any mods? No, I didn't think I really needed them yet. That's why when I said I'd make you one, that was just if you wanted to add links and stuff. Yeah, I'd love that. How do I make you a mod? Yeah, Patrick thinks. Fluffer's always here. She's everywhere. How do you get everywhere? You're like, anyway, I just drew a blank. But yeah, you are everywhere. That's okay. We appreciate everything you do. It helps us so much. Like I said, if you can't get out here, you know, just mod for somebody. Just send emails. Because a lot of times when I get home, I'm too tired to break out, start emailing people. And I'm trying to get a hold of all the online YouTubers that are in the law. I got DUI guy, but here's the thing. I know he said he won't look at anything unless, I got this too close, unless he gets a lot of emails about it. So my one little bitty email, he probably didn't hear. And I tried to say what I could, except outside. The one thing me and the Scientos have in common, we are hermits. Me too, Fluffer. It's because it's Texas, and I've been here for 30 years, and I have stayed inside during the summer every year because the third summer I was here, I got sun poisoning. And now if I went to the lake after that, I had a towel on me, a big hat, a shirt on. I didn't want to sunburn, because people say my skin looks so good. I'm like, because I don't go in the sun. And I drink a lot of water, because I don't drink soda anymore. So I drink like a gallon of water every day, especially in Texas. I have to keep, see, this is why I need the tripod for the sign, because I have to put my sign down to work my hand, and it's killing my shoulders that both need surgery. Fluffer squirrel, I have trigeminal neuralgia, so the wind causes me perfect pain. Oh my goodness. I understand. The fibro has like so many different symptoms. I don't have the wind issue, but sometimes clothes hurt. On my arms, I have to have, if a shirt starts, or a sweat jacket starts to pill even a little bit, if I can't shave it well enough, it has to go. No, I know. Well, that's the thing about fibro is there's 200 different symptoms, so everybody's different. My nurse at my pain management, she happened to bring something up, or I happened to bring up the reason I get like 12 injections from the base of my skull to down my shoulder blade, out my shoulders every 4 weeks, which is lidocaine. I just had it yesterday, and I mentioned something, and we talked for longer than she even gave me her phone number and email, because she's like, I know I have it. My doctor won't diagnose it. And it sounded exactly like me when I was at my worst. I have gotten my symptoms better. Anything with inflammation or pain, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, or anything, even an old injury, gluten causes inflammation. If you go gluten-free, which is so much easier to do now. Back in 2014 when I started, I had to come all the way down to Austin, which is about an hour and a half, to Whole Foods to find gluten-free stuff. Now Walmart and everybody has it. Congrats on 1K. Hi, Ellie. Ellie is a long time on. Yeah, I've seen her. I've seen Ellie. Ellie is the one who gave you the SO and dropped your link in MLA chat. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you so much. I so appreciate that. And a couple days ago when I was here, somebody was helping me with how to title my videos better. Because I thought people just looked for you under the name of your channel. But you're right, you do have to be able to find a video too. And I wasn't putting Scientology in the title, so I'm trying to do that now. I was kind of writing the titles for people I already knew were coming, just like, hey, let's see what the security guard is going to do today. I wasn't thinking of getting it out there. This chat is not moving. Oh yeah, gluten went in 2019, then dairy. They wanted me to do gluten and dairy, and I couldn't. I like my cheese too much. Pup groomer. I have joint hypermobility syndrome. Reasons I have my service dog. I know what that is. Yeah. It's only certain places, is it? I know the person I read about that had it, it was in his hands, and some other places. Fluffer said you needed help, thank her. Oh, Fluffer Squirrel's been great for my channel and everybody that comes. Pup groomers here a lot too, almost every day now, if you haven't always been every time, which is awesome. Anybody that wants to sit and talk to and listen to me talk, kudos to you. Because I can talk. This is a perfect thing for me to do. Because I have no friends. I had a crazy person in my life in my 20s. And I never wanted friends again after that. Army wives be crazy. There's some great ones. But so I've always lived off post after that. I've stayed away from my husband's unit. I just got really active in church. But then when I got sick, I've been homebound since 2010. I was bedridden for the last 5 years. So and my husband works at night and sleeps during the day. So yeah, I need to talk. Mine is widespread. It's like fibro affects people differently, I see. All right, hopefully my chat's caught up and it'll keep going now. I think because I was pausing it, it wasn't moving. So I was going to tell you all about my sign and what I'm going to have set up. I said I had a surprise for you guys. One of the things I've been trying to get help on is a couple of cadences, because I was in the Army Reserves, and I've been around the Army for 30 years. So longer than that, if you count since I was 14. 40 years. So I can't sing like Pearl Snappy, and I heard like in Denver they were doing hey hey ho ho Scientology's gotta go, and I was like, I can do cadences, and they're easy to change the words to Scientology. My only problem, thanks Susan, the only problem I have is I've seen all the jargon and the terminology, but I can't remember, what to put that would rhyme well together. And I don't know exactly what they all mean. Like Asho would sound good somewhere. And I want it to sound good for the people inside. So I sent one to Laura FM. I sent one to Oh No Nora. And I have a small one I'm working on. But they're busy. And I didn't go back into Instagram to let them know I had sent it and to look for it. So they may not have even found it yet. But I know they would be really good with the words. Matter of fact, Oh No Nora said absolutely. She made a new word. Abso-fucking-lutely, I think she said. So I thought that would be awesome. Sorry about that. Because I don't have a good gimbal. Every time I change hands, I drop it. Ugh. Arms. So anyone that thinks they could help me with words, I drop in my email, scientologywontwin @gmail. Because I have already sent it to those two, and so I have it all highlighted with the words I have thought of, and then I have a link to the actual YouTube video of the cadence that I got it from, and then I wrote them all down. And I got me some BDU pants. Fluffer Squirrel, that would be awesome because you do know a lot. That would be awesome. Okay, thank you. But yeah, just even if you can only put in a few words, not the whole thing, but if you could do one line, give me an idea about one line, and somebody else gives me an idea about another line, that would be awesome. Somebody gave me a line last time and I have a terrible, fibro ruins your short-term memory. Hi. No, you're not. Thanks. All right, you know what's going on here?
I hate that they put this across the campus.
They did it on. He bought this building 55 years ago, and they opened in Chicago across from a college.
It's so predatory against international students. It's ridiculous.
They are.
All the international students in my building bring home pamphlets.
Yep. You know why? If they get anybody from international, maybe doesn't speak good English and stuff, like they'll get people to join in Russia. They'll bring them here and take their passport.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and they don't let them leave. That's why they're a cult and not a church.
It's refreshing to see you out here.
All right, thank you. That's awesome. See, I'm glad they know. Did you hear what he said? He said the international students are always coming in with pamphlets. So I need to find out when they're getting that traffic. Maybe it's after classes. Maybe I need to come later. Lavender Bridges, a step or two before. Oh yeah, that's awesome. At Lavender Bridges. Gotcha. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. My niece has Ehlers, was recently diagnosed. Yeah, it's hard when you've got something like that. I know how you feel. That's one of the reasons. I mean, I don't get outside. I haven't got outside for years. Just standing out here doing this has just been awesome for me. Just to get out. So I love it, and this is a nice spot. I like it. It's got a lot of traffic, so I do get a lot of people stop. So my sign. So my husband's supposed to be working on it today. I get it. I figured. That's okay. You guys chat. I do it all the time, and other ones. That's how we get to know each other. I'm easygoing about everything. It takes a lot to offend me, and it took them to tick me off enough to drive 150-mile round trip to come down here. So, but I'm what I call socially liberal and personally conservative. I'm a very conservative person, but I love everybody. As long as you're not a horrible person, I love everybody. Everybody's great. I love learning new things. I love learning things about other people because it expands my world. You know, if you only stays with like, you're stunted, I think, in a way. That's not a bad thing, but I didn't grow up, and my kids didn't get to grow up with like long-term friends or we didn't even get to be around family because of the Army. So maybe that's why I am that way. If I'd have had family around, maybe my outlook would be different, you know? Yeah. I only went in the reserves. I was supposed to go to college in the reserves and go in as an officer. But my husband went active duty before me, and I was like, you know what? It was hard to go. It was hard. So I just became the Army wife. I just did my stint and got out. I wonder if they are walking around campus handing them out. I wonder. I should have asked him. Thanks, Patrick. Fluffer. Yeah, if everyone was the same. Yeah, I'm a veteran, but I haven't done anything interesting. My husband has done it all. Boxer mom. Wanting out, give the SPT Foundation a shout. Yes, I did. When they had the doors open, or when somebody went in, I yelled it to them. And like I said, this is why I'm getting to the new sign. Yeah, I was young. I enlisted on my 17th birthday. You can do things when you're young. I give my husband kudos for getting up every morning for 21 years and going out and running at 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I know there was days that he just didn't want to, but he had to. So I don't know if I could have ever done it for the whole stint. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, the sign is going to be full-size poster board. And I've got 5 different colors. And we have a base that we're going to have Velcro on. And so I'm going to be able to change out my sign so I can have different messages. And I think the permanent side, because one side's going to be permanent, one side's going to be interchangeable, is going to be the SPTV Foundation and its number. And I'll just turn it towards them sometimes, and maybe they'll call it, maybe they'll contact it. I found out this is all staff, that Sea Org is really only supposed to be certain places, although they have seen Sea Org in Denver, and I think they may have pulled Sea Org just to have enough staff for these buildings. So, hi Rhonda. just arrived on I'm a Veteran. I subscribed. Thank you. I just hit 1,000. Thank you for your service and your voice. Yeah, I just did the Army Reserves for 6 years, and then you do 4 years and 4 years inactive, where they can call you up. And I got out right before Desert Storm, and my husband thought he was going to get called up. I thought I was going to get called up, and we had 2 small kids. Well, neither one of us did, because they wanted tanks, and he was in light infantry. Yeah, Sea Org wears special badges, and I need to remember to look at their collars, because the guy that attacked Denver Scientology, or Jay, he had that thing on his collar, so he was Sea Org. So he was saying, Aaron was saying, because he went to jail and he's Sea Org, he's in like quadruple trouble. So that's why I want the tripod, why I want a nicer sign. Somebody in Denver was with Jay one day, and she had this big sign with a big star at the top, and that's what gave me the idea. And I'm like, okay, now I need something to hold it. That way I'm free, and then maybe I might get a tripod for my phone, so I'm not shaking it around all the time. Lori, hi. I could see using corrugated plastic light for yard signs as a good base. Yeah, he was gonna buy paneling. That would have been a good idea. We ended up at Hobby Lobby, and they had an extra thick poster board. I am worried this thing catches the wind, but this is the thinner, and it's gonna be. So he's working on it today, and what he's going to do is take PVC pipe, put it on the top of the tripod where it's supposed to have something to attach, but it wasn't there. We got it at a thrift shop. And so he's going to heat the PVC pipe to fit, and then he's going to flatten it. We're going to attach the thicker poster board. If it doesn't work, then that's a good idea. It was that, and the paneling we thought would be the real thin plywood, or we thought might be too heavy, but that wouldn't. So thank you, Judy. That's a good idea. Spray paint on a window screen. Rhonda, I'm a lifelong military brat and veterans advocate. I can't hear Sea Org without thinking fake Navy. I know. I was in Navy ROTC in high school, and we went on trips to the bases. And I don't know why my husband and I went in the Army Reserves after that. We should have went in the Navy. But yeah, he got everything he did, LRH did, was, I can see the propaganda that he learned from Hitler in World War II. Or maybe that's how he learned propaganda. And how to work people and keep them isolated. I think he got all that from Hitler. That's my opinion. Bullhorn saying, take the number of clears in 6 months and multiply by number of orgs. 6 billion divided by that number. I know, the math doesn't math. Fluffer Squirrel, I do wearable sign, but I don't have gimbal muscles. Yeah, you could do that. Well, Pearl Snappy, she uses a tripod, and I'm gonna get one. Hi Marco from the future. How's the future looking? He learned well. Yeah, he did. Ruthless Cult. I know he got that because he was in World War II, even though he didn't fight. I love MacGyvering stuff with creativity. Yeah, I have a craft room, and I tried to start a craft business, but when I injured my back more, my craft room is a mess. I haven't done anything in a long time. But I'm not good at like drawing, and my husband, he loves working in his workshop. So he's got this whole idea, and he's gonna make it work. So anyway, so now Pearl Snappy gave me the idea. We happen to overlap the day of the birthday, LRH's birthday, and she had a wagon, one of them collapsible wagons, utility wagon. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. We've wanted one for our camper. So I'm getting one of those. Greetings from the Netherlands. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Peter and Margan van Essen. I hope I said that right. I'm from the Netherlands. I did my Ancestry.com recently. I did my Ancestry DNA test. And I'm from the Netherlands. Somebody is. I looked back. I found somebody. I don't know what they are. Future looks good so far. Hope so. I hope things are going to get better. I'd like the gas prices to come down. Oh, I love genealogy. I do too. But you really have to, it takes time. Like one of the crafts I never got into was scrapbooking. It takes all your time. And genealogy, I'll have to like get a spurt and I'll spend like a whole evening doing it. And what it is I found my line, but you have to go in and prove it. So I found it, but I haven't been able to put it in officially yet because I got to make sure it really is. I did a different DNA test years ago. My husband got it for me. He didn't research, and it was a weird test. It did like 50 generations, and like it's all over the place because it goes back so far. And they give you a celebrity you're related to. I'm related to Eva Longoria. She's short too. That's probably why. Patrick Hubbard thought of himself as an expert in anything he read for about 5 minutes. Yep, he did. He was an arrogant ass. Thought. Just found a cousin we didn't know about. That's awesome. Punch Buggy's a genealogy nerd. Judy, LRH is the epitome of Dunning-Kruger. Don't know that. Don't know what that is. Oh, mitochondrial. Hold on. My sign keeps falling when I sit it down. Normally I'm over at the bike rack, but there's bikes there today. I'm gonna have to put my sign down. My shoulders kind of give out. I have to take rest breaks. That's another reason for the tripod. And it'll be bigger and it'll be seen farther. And then, so I didn't finish. So I had ordered Army green t-shirts and BDU bottoms, which is what I wore in the Army. It's a long time. They don't wear them anymore. And I got some fabric paint, and I'm gonna put Xenu's Army on the front on the Army green t-shirt when I get the cadences together, so I can have something to say to them that's not being rude and I won't have a bullhorn, so they can't try to get me for that. I'm loud. My sign just hit my foot. I loved singing cadences. It helped me run. They do it to help you breathe, and I loved it. And I decided if I'd went active duty before we got married, I was going to be a drill sergeant. So I can be loud when I need to be. Dunning-Kruger is when you think you know it all, but truly know nothing. Good to know. I'll remember that. Pura Vida. Yay, Miss Kim. Thank you. I love purple's my favorite color. Judy, love the Army cadence idea. Yeah, well, I got it from Pearl Snappy, and I got it from Jay and them. They were doing a little short one. And I'm like, well, I can't sing, but I can do a cadence. And they're set up so well to change the words. They just have to rhyme, mostly. And sometimes they don't even do that. So I'm going to at least get the short one ready. It's really short. And maybe I can work SPTVfoundation.org in there. I don't know how. But I'll have that on the sign. And look, they don't have blinds on the door. And the door's still cracked because it's broken. So they're going to hear me. So I need to get something done soon so they can hear me. And they're going to see the sign. So even if it's just going in and out, my little sign, they might not. It just says Scientology call, ask me why. I want more stuff on there. But I don't want it so small and squished in that it's hard to read. That's why I want interchangeable signs so I can have different messages, different days. I can't find your email on your page. I usually add it in the description afterwards. I should have done it before. If you can't get Scientology Won't Win at Gmail, just comment afterwards, because I don't know how to bring up the chat after a live, and give me you don't want to comment your email. If Scientology Won't Win at Gmail is not working, because I'm not getting things back on it, try this. That's a hard one. I have a Miss Kim email I made, but it's numbers and I don't know what it is. I'll add it after the live's over. Before I leave, I'll sit here and do it real quick. I'm still working the kinks out. I tried to make a Facebook group and the links didn't work, and when I get home sometimes I'm like all the Scientology stuff shuts down. And I have a t-shirt that says I did a lot of procrastinating today. I'm good at that too. So I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes. Awesome. Oh wait. Chat GPT could even help you with the words. I didn't even think about that. I watched Aaron work that one day and he said, make me a ditty about Scientology, and it was awesome. That's awesome. That's an awesome idea. Is that I know is it an app that I have to download? Because I haven't before. I didn't need it. I don't know, but I've been told Scientology steals your soul. That's the one I'm working on. But it's longer. That's a good one. I hope I can remember. I have bad short term. I saw the sign. My email's on my page. Okay, I'll come find you, Fluffer. Lavender. Yeah. I like lavender and purple. Patrick, look at your saved chat on a desk. Yes, you had a laptop, and the chat will be on the right. Okay. See, my laptop is a piece of crap, and so I've honestly never used it much because I do so much on my phone. My phone is actually more powerful than it, but I am trying to figure out how to edit and stuff on it a little bit easier. I haven't edited much, so I'm gonna have to go to it. But now that I know that, I definitely am. So I can go back and look. Marco, I'm shocked. Just found out that they have a celebrity center in my hometown. Where's that, Marco? Punch Buggy. The SPTV networks work for me. Okay. Yeah, that's an email that I made that's more public. It was supposed to go to that domain that I want to work for SPTV, which I need to get on. I've had it for a year. I hope it renewed or I lost it. Fluffer's awesome job with the list of protesters in cities. I know. I just went through her list and just subscribed to all of them. Yeah, Marco, where are you at? Where's this? If it's not, we know there's one in LA, but where else? ChatGPT is a website you have to make an account for, but it's worth it for the giggles. Yeah, the day Aaron was playing with it, he was like, make me a ditty about David Miscavige. And oh my God, it was hilarious. Webpage, the YouTube, Dusseldorf, Germany. They've got a celebrity center in Dusseldorf. I think I heard Aaron mention that once. Jessica, great at Jessica Blue, anything nerdy. Okay. That's for one I thought of was you can blow if you want to. You can leave this cult behind. If you're not free to speak and not free to think, then that's a cult defined to safety dance song. I know that song. And I heard it when I was the first part. I could hear it. Yeah, James. KK passed away. I ended up getting distracted again. Oh, thank you, Danny Mac. Yeah, sorry, Marco. KK, her YouTube channel is Freelance Adventures. So she had that before, but she started protesting, and her and Pearl Snappy only met a couple months ago, but they got very close. I got to meet her a couple times, and the day of the opening, we went down and sat at the bar for a while. She's just this kind of person that just easy to like. I mean, it was not even being a close friend with her. I was very sad to hear it. So Pearl took it hard. If you go to Pearl Snappy's channel, she did a live yesterday afternoon about it. Because it happened on Friday, and I think it took a while for Pearl to find out. Because she just dropped off of communication, and she didn't know why. I know it happened somewhere else. She was on a trip with other girls on their bikes, and they weren't sure at that point if the guy was texting or drinking when he hit him. And what was funny is yesterday on the way home, this person was going all over the road. She went into our lane, she went into other lane, and we got up beside her, and I looked down, and she's got her phone in her hand, and she's doing this. And I'm like, the first two swerves didn't get you? I won't even answer my phone when I'm driving. As soon as I reach for my phone, I'm in the other lane. Yeah. She was very kind, very giving, very open. But like I said, I try to hang on to, if she was a biker and she loved being on her bike. I told my family, because they were always worried when I would go out. And I'm like, look, if something happens, it happened while I was doing something I love to do, and I was happy. Roam around the world. Yeah. Yeah, now that I know how to go back and look at chat, I can go back to the couple other, these and the other suggestions and look at them. So let me set up my sign. It's kind of windy today. So I have a teenage driver in the house. I even look towards the phone. She will give me endless grief. I love it. Yeah, I wish my daughter learned that from me when I taught her to drive. She does that and drives. In California, in Southern California. Scared the bejesus out of me. Marco, I knew that they have a church here, but at least the state doesn't like them. Yeah, we know Germany doesn't like them. So they are under investigation, and hell will freeze over before they get the status of a church here. I wish the United States would take over. R.I.P. KK. Thanks, Pure Vita. Yep. Now I have Ace of Base in my head. I know. Pup groomer. I'm notorious for tossing my phone at my daughter when I'm driving. She knows what to do automatically now. Yeah. Well, luckily my town's only 15 miles wide. So literally I can get just about anywhere in 10 or 15 minutes. So they can wait till I get there. And darned if my husband doesn't always wake up while I'm right about the time I'm trying to get out of Austin and I'm in traffic. And he does it on Messenger. And I just trying to answer Messenger, because I have it up with my map. I have my phone sitting on my steering wheel with my map, because it always takes me different ways due to traffic. So even though I know the way, I still use the map. Sometimes it saves me time. Not much action at the recruitment center today. No, somebody just came out. I shouldn't have had my back to him like that. But really, there isn't very often. Do you know if the U.S. is the only country they are tax exempt? I don't know that. Aaron would know that. Pup, your son is okay. Jessica, I'm a delivery driver. I see so many people on their phone or drunk. It's scary. Yeah, I've been a delivery driver in my life too. I delivered pizza 3 times. Pure Vita. Judy, sending all the love. Must run. Keep up the good fight. Bye, y'all. Bye. Bye, Patrick. Or, I'm sorry. Bye, Judy. Selfless Self. Currently in LA. Likes to impromptu sing words. Maybe he can help. Yeah. And I did ask Pearl Snappy, but I forgot to send it to her. I'll check with him. That'll be good. But yeah, I've got some things planned that hopefully will help than me just standing here with the sign. And maybe get the attention. Yeah, I delivered for Pizza Hut in 1988 when they just started the Pizza Hut delivery only stores. And I was in kind of a small town. And there was a Domino's, and we were both in the same little area. And we left, there was 2 main roads away. My second day on the job, my 7th solo delivery on Friday the 13th, I went to go through a green light, and a car ran the red light. I'm like, jerk, you don't expect a second car to run the red light. So I'm going through the light, and this guy T-bones me. He had to be going 60 at least, because I ended up clear across the intersection with my engine off to the side. And he was a Domino's driver, and I was delivering for Pizza Hut. And he totaled my car and ruined my neck. So be careful. But then I did it again in California for Domino's. I ended up going to work for Domino's. And then I did it here years ago for Domino's, because I knew it was something that I could get easy because I had experience. And every time I did it with a brand new car. I just bought a brand new car. The year I did it here, everything was so far away. It had 800 miles when I bought it. A year later, it had 40,000 miles on it. And I thought, you know what, I'm not making any money if I'm putting this many. But I work for Pizza Hut now. I work for Domino's. Yeah, I like Domino's. I liked working for Domino's a lot better. Especially if it's a restaurant, because my daughter was manager at a Pizza Hut restaurant a few years ago. and she went to delivering when she got in California, but they want you to do so much work in the restaurant part, whereas in Domino's delivery only, you can pretty much fold boxes or clean. That's about it. So, whew, I've been talking a lot today. I appreciate everybody that's here. The other day I was amazed. But yeah, I want to up my anti-Scientology game a lot, especially right in front of this door where they have to sit and people have to pass. You know, I want them to see a good sign and get some good information, because, you know, I don't want to yell just mean things at them. Miss Kim, oh, Danny Mac. Thanks, Danny. Punch buggy. Dang, delivery drivers have a dangerous job. We do. Because you're on the road so much. You're just out there more often, so there's more chances. Tammy's Grammy, yes, there are other countries that tax exempt Scientology. I cannot list them, but Australia is one. I know people in Australia, really, because they get a lot of people from there. That is why Britain Scientology funnels its money through Australia.
Good to know.
I was saying about delivery. Don't speed. I never have. Matter of fact, my first Domino's managers, it was during the 30 minutes or less, and he told us, he said, if you're late, it's not your fault, because if we can get the pizza out in 10 minutes, you can get anywhere in this town in 20 minutes. So to not worry about it. And I learned from that. That was my that was my Pizza Hut manager, my first one. And I've always done that. And what was funny is when they got into computers and they could time you, they would show the fastest driver and the slowest driver. And, you know, I watched my other drivers just blow past me and do all kinds of crazy stuff. I was the slowest driver, but I was only 1 minute behind the fastest driver. And 1 minute for a delivery is not a big deal. And that was me doing the speed limit, stopping at the stoplights and stop signs. And he wasn't he was a minute faster on average. So you don't have to do that. She spiked at the over 104 before they got her on fluids. Everything came back navigated. Oh, are you talking to someone? Okay, you are. Yeah, if you tell mean things, they don't get the message. We want to help them. Yeah, I wish kind of some of the LA people, I mean, I get that they're also trying to draw attention too. I get what they're doing. Everybody has their own way. Dress like a Sea Org member and hand out SPTV anti-Scientology literature. I know, I've been given that idea, and I might think about it. That might be something I might want to try. Aaron just got some of their leaflets from somebody and was handed out, like, do you want to join our cult? Do you want to join our cult? So, yeah, that's why I want to get the bigger sign that I can sit right in front of their sign. And I'm going to have the SPTV Foundation on there, their phone number, their website. Sea Org is in bondage, quote Paul. Yeah, oh, I want to go back to some of Serge's speeches, and I'm going to write them down, because he articulates so well what Scientology does to children and him and others. Like when he went in front of the city council recently, you know, you only have 3 minutes, so he's very concise. And I want to go and write that down on something, and I'm just going to read it out loud right here. That children can't consent, and they force children into the Sea Org. And maybe somebody will hear it and they'll stop. Or maybe they'll hear it inside and realize, oh, that's what happened to me, or that's what happened to my friend. Yeah, I'm getting me one of those wagons right there. I don't have any cash. She's selling something. I never carry cash. That's silly. So, Let me know if I'm panning too fast. I try to go slow because I get motion sickness easy. You could also play it. I think you can hear a lot in his voice. Yeah, I do have extra phone that I could play it on. Oh, they're not soundproof, but look, that door's not closed all the way. It's still broken.
God bless you.
Awesome, thanks. You too. I think the only way to close it all the way is to lock it. They're lucky it's closed that far, but as soon as some wind hits, it won't be. So I know they can hear me. I don't have my phone, and I don't want to use any other speaker. So, awesome. People know, especially young people. They're into the social media. So I've been very impressed with how much they already know. They at least know it's bad. They've seen something pass on TikTok or YouTube, and they know to stay away. And that's all I hope for. If they just know to stay away, we're good. But the more people we tell, hopefully maybe some congressmen's children will hear about it and say, hey, Dad, look at this, or hey, Mom, look at this. And you may not know this, but Austin is the Texas capital, and that direction on the other side of campus is the Capitol building. And I'm assuming our Congress people have offices there. So I'm going to find out where they are exactly, and I'm going to get some pamphlets together, and I'm going to go down there and talk to them about the tax exempt status and leave them some literature. I've got a playlist of things you can play, remastered copies of L. Ron's speeches. It's in a playlist called Lafayette, Ronald Hubbard, The Con Man, The Clown. Fluffer Squirrel, you are a serious keyboard warrior. Those are things I wouldn't even think about doing. I've never been that computer savvy. I miss Windows 3.1. It was so easy and fun to do things on your computer. When they first came out, it was so much fun. Now it's so complicated. You want to ask any questions? I'll tell you. Okay. Go look on YouTube. They're Scientology. It's not a church or a religion. A science fiction writer created it in the 50s. And the people that they have in there now, I'll keep you off camera.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
On TikTok? Are you like, someone's on TikTok.
There's a bunch of them on TikTok.
I see the one that
Stands here. Pearl Snappy, she like loud and sings and stuff.
I think so, yeah.
That's Pearl Snappy. Yes, she's my guru.
So wait, what is it? Anyways, yeah.
To them, they don't have a deity. They call it tech. And if you're a public, like you or me, and you're just a member, you go in and you pay for courses and you go up levels.
Okay.
And if you're to go up those levels and get all the way to OT8, which is their 8th level, you have spent about $150,000. If you can't afford that, then they'll try to get you on as a staff member for a 2 to 5 year contract, and you get paid $200 a week if they make money. If they don't, so that they work 80 hours here and then go get a second job just to live.
Yeah.
Then you have the Sea Org, which is a lot of times children of Scientologists. They take them out of school at like age 12 and put them to work 80 hours a week
But
for 40.
but what is Scientology?
It's not a religion.
So it's like a belief of
Nope.
some sort?
There's no faith. It's courses that you take, that you learn, and it's supposed to make. They believe. Well, they find out at OT level 3 that they're Thetan spirits from outer space,
Oh.
and they live multiple lives.
So they don't believe in like God and like
No.
Jesus and stuff like
No.
that?
It's not like that. The guy that created it was a science fiction writer, and he has this whole backstory where they came from another planet. A guy imprisoned them here,
Yeah.
threw them in a volcano, and there's what we would call their spirit, they call Thetans. And they believe when you die or when you drop the body, you go find a new baby body in the hospital. They literally have Facebook pages where you can find, if you think you're about to die, you can go find somebody about to have a baby and talk to them and say, hey, can I,
Yeah.
they've had, so what I learned from was all the ex-Scientologists that have made channels. Growing up in Scientology is the one that I started, and I binge watched the last year and a half. And when they opened here in February, The child abuse is what got me. They don't think they're children or kids. They think they're adults in small bodies because they were an 80-year-old man their last life. So there's widespread child abuse and elder abuse.
Yeah.
Because if you can't work for them, here, these are the OG channels. If you want to take
Yeah,
a
I
picture.
gotta look into it.
Yeah, take a picture. These are all ex, and some of them were put in as early as 8 or 9 years into Sea Org cadets. And when you join the Sea Org, you sign a billion-year contract, and you're not allowed to leave. That's why it's a cult. A cult doesn't let you leave.
Similar, yeah.
And if you're even a public and you leave, you have to disconnect from any family or friends that are still in Scientology, even your spouse. And like if you spoke out or you just want to leave or you did a suppressive act, anything against Scientology. That's why the movement's called SPTV, because we're a bunch of suppressive persons to them.
Yeah. I mean, I'll check it out.
Yeah, you should.
Good to learn something.
It's growing up in Scientology, he's a very interesting guy to listen to.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's awesome. Yeah. And see, they didn't want to stop, but he's going to tell them. He's going to look into it. That's how, I mean, I found it by accident. Pyramid scheme. Yeah, I forget certain things. Like I said, I don't know how long I'm going to have them, so I just try to get the best stuff out. Now, Fluffer Squirrel, that is what you're doing is awesome because it's a resource that we can come to or send other people to. And that's what I was trying to go for with having a web page. And you're doing something very similar. Yeah, it's a business model. Marco, that's a good one. The Elron source. Okay. Yeah. That's why my channel is so long because, well, it's supposed to be Scientology Won't Win, but then I realized I had created that on my personal channel, and when I went to make the new channel, I had to add in Texas. Source of poo. Secular Humanist Gnostic Pyramid Scheme. Punch buggy, that's good. Thanks, Pure Vita. Like I said, I wanted to be a school teacher, didn't get to, so I had a home daycare and I've taught Sunday school. I like to teach. Yeah, he did call himself Source. What a guy. I know. Oh, and he was Buddha too, don't forget. And everybody's like so surprised that other religions and stuff look like Scientology because he stole from everybody else. I mean, he had to get his information somewhere. I did read Battlefield Earth, and I liked it. I'm a science fiction geek, and it was a bit long, but the premise was really good, and I'm easily entertained. I liked the movie, too. I thought it could be a lot better for who was in it. But like I said, I'm easily entertained, because I've watched so much science fiction fantasy, I've watched it all. So now I'm down to the B movies. As long as it's got decent dialogue and a decent plot, I don't care if it's a high budget set or high level actors. But if the actors are crap, if the premise is crap, if their dialogue is crap, you don't. There's been very few movies I've had to turn off. Don't ever watch 40 Days and 40 Nights, the sci-fi one. It took me 4 different times to try to finish it. It had a great premise, but oh my god, the acting was so disgusting and the dialogue. Not disgusting, it was so bad. So, but yeah, that's more what I'm here for. I'm here to try to get the people inside to see the sign. And I've noticed that I've seen a lot of the other creators recently get some members to talk. And I don't think you can do that if you're being unapproachable. And, you know, I feel being approachable and showing the kindness or cordiality, that they'll see that and be like, oh, well, maybe she has something good to say. But, you know, the other part gets, you know, like what some of them in LA and what Pearl Snappy does, that works too. That gets more attention than maybe I do standing here being quiet. So where she might get a lot more, she does get a lot more online interest. She does get, you know, people do still stop and talk to her. And she said the best thing, KK was asking her questions. If you go to KK's channel, she said, so what do you suggest for anybody that's protesting? And she said, have a sign. It gives them something to look at and ask about. Yeah, Marco, that was such a bad movie. I'm like, I can't. Bill with the B. One skateboard person shows up and it all shut down. Oh, hey, officer. How are you doing today? But yeah, I think they all work. Oh, my favorite one so far is when I went over to Portland on Tuesday. There was 2 of them there. And the other lady, it sounded like somebody called her on Messenger. Maybe she was just using that noise. But she's live streaming and somebody called her and she answered it and said, you know, I'm live, right? I thought that was awesome. I shut down a street race last night. Really? How'd you do that? Was somebody in it you needed to get? I know, the nun outfit. I don't know if I could pull that off. But if you're new here, I do have a plan. Check back later. I do have an outfit I'm putting together. It might take me another week or so to get it all together. So check back. You'll be surprised. I am trying to do something that's a little more interesting that might get... Oh, I saw everybody doing these mini streets and mini Thetans and stuff. I didn't want to do that, but what I was thinking about doing, since I'll have my free hands, is drawing out a Xenu, because I'm going to have Xenu's army on my shirt. And I thought about having maybe a foot or taller cardboard Xenu. But I can't draw. I'll be out here Saturday if you want to coordinate. If I have my other sign done by then, I can give you this one. Danny, it's an international money laundering trial traffic norms. Yeah, that's something they touched on a video once. They were talking about the Dianetics centers in Mexico and how they were still sending out, it was either DVDs, books, something, but it created a lot of space if they wanted to put other things in there and ship. They weren't looked at as hard because it was coming from a church to a church. Nobody ever really followed up. Tonight we are in a police chase with a Jeep. You should take your body cam footage. You put it on your channel? Yeah, it's nice to have somebody else. They have to drive a good distance too to get here. Thanks, Danny. Yeah. I'm gonna be probably going here soon. I stay as long as my feet and back can handle it, and as long as people want to hang out. But I know a little more than 2 hours is probably all I need. So. But yeah, I'd really like to have more things on. I'm getting stencils for my signs too. You know how many times I redid this sign to try to, because I was freehanding it a lot. So. Thanks, officer. Oh, I wish I could be that forward. so many Scientologists. The science fiction writer created it because he wasn't making enough money on his book. Yeah. Yep, they did. They slapped me the same weekend they slapped some of them in LA. Only because we have the security guard over here, they couldn't call on me because I had a witness that could say I wasn't doing anything. So what they did is they called shot fired, and I had 6 cop cars over there coming up. But as soon as the guy ran up and said, "Did you hear shots?" and I said, "No." "You've been filming the whole time?" "Yeah." When he didn't see anybody running and I didn't hear anything, he chilled out real quick. It's on my channel. That was the first video I edited down, and I edited some boring stuff out of the middle. It is evil. I'm a Christian, and I don't think it's a cult because I'm not pressured. You know, when I had to stop going to church, nobody came and pressured me about it because of my health. I had to get somebody else. They had to let me out of we call it a calling, of my adult Sunday school class. So I mean, like, my kids, when they turned 18 and didn't want to go anymore, they just stopped going. So I guess it would depend. I mean, if a church gets to the point where you can't have outside friends, outside thought, and you have to do what they want you to do, even if it's just through pressuring, yeah, that would be a cult. That's not a good church. Thank you, Lavender. I'll take whatever you can give me. Yeah, I hope so. I've been one of the lucky ones. I had a rough childhood with my mother. It was mostly verbal. The amount of child abuse that I have heard about is just beyond belief, and still going on, like right here. How in this modern age is that going on? And what it is people just want to turn a blind eye. So people like you, watching channels like me, putting out the information yourselves to other people you know, that's how we're going to bring them down, because they can't hide in secrecy anymore. The Ford Crown Victoria. We almost bought one of those once. My husband, we'd love to get a Hellcat, but I'm sorry. We got a bad taste in our mouth on Dodges. We have a Nitro 2007, and we've had to put another engine in it. We've practically rebuilt the whole thing. So I won't have another. And my daughter had a Dodge, not the Charger, and nothing but problems. But so if you go to church and preach the Old Testament, you get told to shush or talk about Lilith. That gets them going. Staying in church turns the blind eye. Just saying. Everybody has their own ideas. Church was good for me and my family. My church taught service. Really taught to be of service and to be a part of your community and to help everyone and to do everything with love. And I think if your religion teaches you that, teaches you something good, then it's worth it, no matter what it is. But if it's not teaching you to treat your fellow man well, and they don't treat you well, that's not a good church. I mean, it just depends. I mean, I really liked it. My family was really tight-knit at the time, but my kids turned 18 and wanted to smoke and drink and get tattoos. But, you know, I didn't kick them out of the family. I didn't disconnect. I'm just like, well, it's your life. You're 18 now. I put them in God's hands, and that's exactly what I did. Yeah, I am. Sure.
What's up, guys? Like and subscribe. Make sure to hit the notification button so you don't miss any posts. You don't like Scientology.
I just hit 1,000 subscribers today.
We're going for 2,000.
All right, we're going to go for 2,000. Thanks. I've talked to them before. I think he's the guy that stopped me in the coffee shop and took a picture of me with my sign. That's what I like to hear. He's fun. It's all nuts. You know, a lot of people don't, you know, it was funny because my husband and I have been together since we were 16. We were like, oh, we're going to be cool parents. We're going to be like way better than our parents. We're going to let them drink at home. We're going to, nope. Nope. By the time they were teenagers, they were not allowed to date till they were 16. No smoking or drinking. And all that stuff. Which, yeah, they keep you so isolated. Did you see Dan today on Natalie's show? Dan Walks LA. He got up next to a truck, looked like a U-Haul truck that a Sea Org member was in, and she turned her head away from him, totally ignored him. How brainwashed do you need to be that you just can't? And he, you know, he's a nice guy, that you can't won't let yourself be on camera or be talked to. So that's what they do here. And see, like, you know, I grew up Baptist, and then I was without a church for about 10 years, and I did feel something with, I do like the going to church and being with other people that think the same, as far as, you know, like I said, my church really pushed service, and they really pushed more the New Testament and what Jesus taught. I have actually, me and him talked a few times, because I met him at the day of the opening. I will. He looked, oh. What do you want, just hello? Okay, I'll go tell him. Oh. Hello. Hey, Mr. Mark. Officer John the Bounty Hunter wants to say hi. He wanted
John
me to
the Bounty
say
Hunter.
hi.
I was actually talking to a bounty hunter earlier today. He's looking for a guy out here who I guess has kind of gone off the grid, and I guess his family's looking for him.
That's
So,
what he does.
yeah.
He was telling me about it. My husband wanted to do it, but by the time he retired, he was too broken. Didn't want to do it.
Bounty is
that it? I guess that was it.
I've done bounty, and it's a lot of headache,
Yeah.
a lot of labor intensive. You know, you ground
Yeah.
pound.
I've watched the Dog the Bounty Hunter. Some of the
Dwayne-
crazy crap they have to.
Dwayne Chapman. Well, you know,
Yeah.
the real reason he talks about, oh, I don't carry a gun because I don't believe in it. He's actually a convicted felon.
I know.
Yeah, he and his brother were convicted of armed robbery.
I know all about that, and I just thought it was hilarious.
But
I didn't watch it a lot, but I watched it a few
I felt bad
times.
for him when his wife died, but you know,
Yeah.
he still has a family. He's still working, I believe. His claim to fame was going after the Max heir to the Max Factor money, who apparently murdered his girlfriend, and they found him in Mexico. Mexico does not have extradition rights, so he
Really?
found him in extradition.
I thought we did. That's why
No.
everybody got caught.
Found him, no. When people go to Mexico, there's no extradition rights.
Oh.
So he went down there, found the guy, basically kidnapped him, brought him back across the border just ahead of the federal cops,
Right.
and they were like, "You can't ever come back to Mexico." He's like, "Okay, fine," but it was a big deal because he found him.
Right.
And then I understand Mexico was still ticked off about it, or somebody was, so they actually contacted the State Department, got an international extradition agreement. The United States agreed to it and extradited him down there. I understood he spent
Dwayne?
I understand he spent like, I think it was 8 months of a 10-year sentence.
I think
And there
I
was a
heard.
lot of
I did
political-
remember him saying he was in jail, but I didn't know
and there
the
was a lot
story.
of political stink, which caused political pressure on the U.S., caused pressure on the Mexican government, and that's what got him released. He's not ever allowed to go back into Mexico, or he'll be immediately
Right.
re-jailed. But
Awesome
yeah, that's
story.
his background on that.
Yeah, Punch Buggy. That Max Factor thing was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, officer said thank you for saying hi to you.
Oh, not a problem. Glad to do it.
All right, I'm about to log off. Yeah, it's been 2 hours, you guys. But thank you guys. I've stayed over 40 the whole time. That is awesome. I appreciate everyone's feedback. All your feedback has helped me a great deal. I've learned a lot. I'm really bad about wanting to watch High Puff Dragon. I can't do that. I'm with a pain management doctor, and I get pee tested every couple months. So I've had, and then my husband was in the Army for most of our life. So I've always wanted to try it for my fibro, but I can't until I'm either not with my doctor or medical gets legal here, which I wish it would. Yeah. Illinois isn't so bad. Yeah. I forget what I was saying. Oh, yeah. I've learned a lot. I'm really bad I hate YouTube how-to videos. Mainly because it's hard to find a good one. You'll find one, it looks like it might be good. It doesn't have what you're looking for. I'm a book person, because when you're reading a book, you can go back a few pages and look. Oh, yeah. Trying to work YouTube, unless they're 5 minutes long. The problem is, like, I had to watch sorry guys, let me cover. Did that help? I covered the speaker, the mic. Did it turn it down at all? Next time I should mute. I'll mute next time. That was loud. Yeah, I just had a pain stimulator put in my lower back. That's the only reason I'm able to be out here. I have 5 bad discs in my lower back. They're still injured, but I don't feel it the same. Oh, you're welcome, Pure Vita. Thank you guys. I mean, I'm out here for you guys. I'm out here for the community. I mean, some days when I don't feel like, this morning was hard because my husband's off. This is his weekend. He goes back to work. So to have any time with him, I have to stay up really late. And I didn't get much sleep last night. So I took a quick nap. But once I get out of the house, once I get in the car, I'm fine. It's just getting your butt out the door. CBD pot. Yeah, I didn't care if I got the THC with it. I tried CBD oil. It didn't really work, and it was kind of expensive. I smoked back when I was 19 once, and back then I mean my daughter had to, and her spouse had to tell me the different weeds and all that, and I'm like, in the 80s, it was, weed was whatever you got, and all it did is give me a headache and make me bitchy. I told everybody exactly what I thought of them. I did laugh sometimes, but I just never, and I've never been a smoker, and I thought my lungs were gonna come out, so I've never really been interested in it since. This isn't a mission, it's an org. It's it's one of their ideal orgs that they just opened. If you heard almost 20 years ago, I think, he said, we're going to start this ideal org program. We're going to buy 50,000 square foot buildings and we're going to renovate them, and the public is going to pay for it. No church funds. So they had to raise the millions of dollars to buy the building, then renovate it, and it's taken them. They didn't start renovating this building. They bought it in 1955. LRH actually bought it. They started renovating, they said, about 4 years ago. And I think there's a city ordinance or something somewhere, maybe it was LA, that said once you start remodeling that it has to open within a certain number of years. Don't quote me on that. And all these public put all this money, and he finally had to start opening them, whether he had to use a skeleton crew or not. Yeah, teen hormones don't need THC, no joke. But my daughter lives in Southern California now, and her man, he smokes every day, and she was actually trying it for her anxiety, but I don't know why she stopped. I don't know, because I was there when she started. I was there for a month last September to meet my new grandbaby, so I'll be going back soon. This first grandbaby I didn't help raise. It's not easy. Yeah, they buy him to launder money. That's exactly it. No, The UK is investigating him, and I think somebody told me so is Germany. But no, you can't lose tax exempt status in one place in the US. It's federal. It's done by the IRS. So unless it was a mission, because those are owned by private. Yeah, he's hiding from that, but he has to show he's been served. It's moving forward, and most every time they've been sued before, right up until the day of trial, they end up throwing a bunch of money at it, and they took it. Well, Leah won't. She's there to get them. So I worry about her safety. I really do. And I worry about William Good. Have you ever watched him? He knows the law. He's very in the LAPD's face, but we know they're crooked. We know they're corrupt. And he lives in their vicinity. And I just worry that he might put one of them over the edge. Cops they're a very stressful job, you know? And I just worry that something's going to happen besides them trying to arrest people. But that's my imagination running away with me. Org only, downtime. Yeah, if you're talking about here, yeah. And my kids were my daughter was like me. We had kids early. She's got 2 in middle school. So I thought my son would have kids sooner. He's older, but he didn't. He had them later. So he does, and he does know how to go right up to the line, but he does egg him on. He says, I'm going to get you, your family's going to see you, and I worry about when he's off camera, you know? I just worry about him. I worry about the other protesters, because I've seen them do it again in Chicago. I think there's a way to get around the back of the org. There's an alley, and during the opening, I was just popping through everybody's lives when I got home that day, and I saw 2 girls go alone down that alley, and I saw Leah go around another way by herself, and I'm like, predators come out when there's a group like that. Not even the church, just other evil people. I don't trust anybody anymore. No, her kids, my grandkids are in middle school. My daughter's 31 and my son's 36. She's got 2 in middle school, and now she's got 1 that's over a year old now. Hey, Punch Buggy. Yeah, I need to go. People are dropping off. It's been a while. And oh my goodness, it's been almost 2.5 hours, you guys. Fluffer, he's only a few seconds away from going live, and he has over 200K followers. Things I tell myself, so I don't worry too much. Yeah. Having something take your mind helps a lot. Being alone with issues can be tough. I've had some tough years. I think about, it's been 13 years that I've had no life. And I was a very active person before that, so it does get hard. But we're here for you. This is a community. I like the chat. I like the people in the chats. All of them. They're always, you get the odd duck here and there. But, so I'm going to log off, you guys. I was going to... Yeah, 90s were nuts. I'm an 80s teenager. The 80s were fun. Then the 90s got depressing, the music and stuff. That's when grunge came out. Comment: in the state of Ohio, no one can take or film other people with anyone's consent. Are you sure? Because I thought this was a federal thing. That if you are on a public sidewalk, you lose the idea that you're in your privacy, because you are in a public area. There's cameras on all the buildings. The police have cameras on the traffic lights. So it's the First Amendment. It's in the Constitution. Ohio can't. Now, if you're inside buildings and stuff, yeah, they can tell you to stop it. But any public space like a police station, or if you're out on the street, you lose your privacy. And that's why we can do this. As long as we don't accost anyone or touch their building or go inside, then we can stand here. And the reason they can't stand it is because they don't have control anymore. They're losing control over their narrative. You're 50, I just turned 55. So, and I have 5 grandkids. But being a military family, you know, she was eventually going to meet somebody that wasn't from here, and that's what happened. They moved to California, of all places, about 2 years ago. She's paying $2,300 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment with 3 kids. So it's a nice apartment. It was redone and it's big. But she thought, well, we're going to be making $15 an hour. We can handle it. She had a house here with a yard. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going. I'm tired. I need to go home. Hubby's off tonight. Wait, is this Thursday? Nope, he works tonight. So I told him not to bother with the sign because he needs to get a nap. So I got to get home and stuff. But I appreciate y'all, and I'll be back here on Saturday, and it looks like the couple from Leander will be down here too. We're gonna touch base with each other. So thanks bunches. Bye.